Yes. Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, here with your latest Manchester United news and transfer news. So, a busy day today, some big announcements, none more so than Mason Mount, officially a Manchester United player and officially wearing the number 7 jersey at Manchester United. That is his new shirt number for Manchester United. So, I'm asking you guys on the poll. Some people are annoyed about this, some people are happy about this, and a lot of people just straight up do not care. So I'm going to ask you guys tonight on the poll: should Man United have given Mason Mount the number 7 jersey? It's a yes, it's a no, or it's a does not matter. Honestly, I kind of feel like it doesn't really matter, because what the number 7 shirt once was compared to what it is now, it's night and day. I mean, it is not as important as what it once was. I mean, when we've had Michael Owen and Valencia and Memphis and Di Maria and guys like that, Alexis Sanchez, the importance of it has kind of died a death over the long period of time. Liman is saying, what's in a number? Absolutely, man. What is in a number? I care more about the player than the number. Absolutely, man. Okay, so let's get talking. Let's get down to news, because we have quite a lot to get through. So let's get talking. Obviously, as we know, the Mount deal, it is done. He is officially a Manchester United player, and he will be in training tomorrow for the very first day of pre-season. So let's get talking about other players coming in, because that's what it's going to have to be now. We have to look at the next incoming, and that's probably going to be Andre Onana. So Mike McGrath has said Manchester United are stepping up the attempts to land Inter goalkeeper Andre Onana following the signing of Mason Mount. So this is something we expected. I would love United to be in a position where we could buy more than one player at once, but alas not. We are now focusing on Onana. Let me see. Ashade is down there with a good evening. Good evening to you, man, as well. Thank you very much for joining in with us. Rajat is down there as well. Good to see you, man. And we have Luman saying, let's give Mason a chance. Absolutely, man. I'm not judging him on the shirt number. I'm judging him on how he's going to do on the pitch. And I'm excited to see how he gets on. Obviously, he will need to settle in, but a good period of time and a long pre-season is only going to help him settle into Manchester United. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm good, Rajat, man. I hope you're good as well. I hope all is good with yourself. I hope you've had a very good, what, is it Wednesday today? I can't even remember the days of the week. I've been so busy, guys, honestly. But let's get down to this. So, Erik Ten Hag has watched the way Ederson and Alisson have transformed Manchester City and Liverpool, and wants a goalkeeper comfortable with the ball at his feet in the same way, and he thinks it's going to be Onana. So, I think Onana will be the next signing, and I really think he's going to change things at this club, because when he comes in, a completely different way of playing football. Manchester United will be playing the Erik Ten Hag way, and that's something I can't wait for. More possession, gonna really help us. I'm looking forward to it. Let me see as well. Who else have we got down here? Rijat is saying, how about the Feyenoord goalkeeper for backup? I actually think as well, United had a 3 million bid for some Turkish goalkeeper. This seemed to be something that happened in May. So it looks like we want a number 1 and a number 2. Let me see. Dublin Games is down there saying hello. Good to see you, man. Thank you for joining in with us. And Dan as well. Casemiro single pivot. Bruno and Mount ahead for home games, and Eriksen as a good backup. That looks good. Yeah, we're going to go higher up the pitch. And with Mount, with Bruno, we're going to press teams. We're going to press very nicely. And it's really going to help us play higher up the pitch. We're not going to need 2 holding players in a pivot if we're playing in the opposition's own half, and that's where the ball's going to be. So let me see who we got down here. We see Irfan, good to see a man, saying a new number 9, and Yusuf as well saying better days are coming. Of course they are. Honestly, guys, I'm looking forward to football being back. I'm looking to get to see Manchester United play again. Ashid is saying apparently Inter Milan owes 47 million when they sold Lukaku to them. Both teams should try to come to a compromise. And RSV says, I'm so excited for Onana. He will transform our life like the way that Casemiro did for us. Yeah, honestly, will be a transformational signing, and I'm so excited to see Andre Onana. I am so excited to see Manchester United back in action, because going to be an entirely different team. with Mount in there, with Onana in there, with a striker, that's a lot of our problems taken care of. And then there might be even more on top of that, some more bonus signings to come in that could really help us. We're talking the likes of Amrabat, we're talking the likes of Neves from Benfica, very good players who could come in and really bring something else to this United team. So I can see Yusuf asking about Amrabat, so let's get talking, because there has been updates on this player. So of course this is mostly coming from Italian sources, and they have been saying, let me just double check. Yep. There we go. So Gazzetta have said Manchester United already have an agreement with the agent of Amrabat from Fiorentina, and it would only come down to agreeing a fee with Fiorentina, the actual club themselves. I think it's going to be probably a 25-30 million pound deal. I think it's going to be a good deal if we get it done, because that's going to be a backup in a player in a position we really need. Playing, and he could come in for Casemiro for some matches at home. He could build a really nice relationship, and the more players we have, the better. Let's see. Big T is saying our number sevens have been attack minded. Mount is not attack minded. He got more assists than goals at Chelsea. He prefers to assist and attack rather than lead the attack. He doesn't have the hunger for a goal. No, I think he definitely will. I think he will bring goals, but I think he is definitely more of a creative midfielder. Absolutely. You're spot on with that, man. Personally, I think it's a strange one. It's not a typical United number 7. We usually seem to give number 7 jerseys to wide players, attacking players, the most exciting player on the pitch. So I know obviously there was a big clamoring online to see it go to Garnacho or someone like that. I don't know, but I said it on the Discord earlier as well. I think when we've went on a run with Michael Owen and Valencia and Alexis Sanchez, who else? Memphis, Di Maria, a really disappointing run for the best part. United haven't had a great number 7 probably since Ronaldo first left the club. So we're talking 15 years. So I think, a lot of the importance is kind of gone. I think it is just kind of a number. I think that's more the thing. Obviously, it means more to the fans, but hopefully he does not feel that kind of pressure coming with the jersey. He's a good player. I'm excited for it. Dan is saying, let the fire sale begin. Yes, let's get talking about this, because Fabrizio Romano says 7 players to leave United. He reckons there could be as many as 7 going. So some are more likely than others. We will put that out as a disclaimer, but let's have a look at them, because we have Dean Henderson. He will definitely be sold. No doubt in my mind. Harry Maguire. Now, Eric Ten Hag, he will happily sell Harry Maguire. It all depends on whether Maguire wants to go, and we can find a suitable buyer who will pay his wages. Then we have Fred, heavily linked to Fulham. I could see this one happening for sure. Then we have, of course, Tellez and Eric Bailly, 2 players we know have been told already they're not in the project. They will be sold. That is fact. That is as close to guaranteed as we can get in this game. And then we have Anthony Elanga, a player who has promise, but I think he just needs a move for his career. And then we have Donny van de Beek, another player who should be gone, and that it could be 7 players. So Dan is right when he says going for a fire sale could look just like that. Let's see, Yusuf is saying any news about the sale. So we have had one piece of news today, and this is coming from Jamie Jackson. So I'm going to put a disclaimer out the exact same way I did last night. Last night when we had the report coming in from Qatari sources in Doha about a deal being done, we said that because we haven't seen this anywhere else, there's a good chance that it might not be true. So Jimmy Jackson alone has come out with this story today, basically saying that Sheikh Tassim has not heard back from the Rain Group or the Glazer family on the 5th bid. Now, this part I can completely believe. I can absolutely believe that the Glazers would be messing about, that they would be messing the Qataris about, messing Radcliffe about. I would buy that. But he has said that the Qataris might walk away from the deal because of that. I think what he needs to remember is they've already said no more negotiations. They've put their final bid down. So I don't think, I think this is kind of putting things together. It's kind of jumping to conclusions. I would like to see some other sources verify that. But in terms of sales news, that is what we have at the moment, guys. Let me see. So, Luman is saying Onana's clause going forward included going up front every corner kick. We should also get penalties by himself. Rajat is saying 26 plus 4 to 5 in add-ons. Um, Let's see. Luke is down there. Good to see you, Luke. Who else is down there? Ahmad is saying surprised but not mad about it. Satwan says Glazers out. And DL says, is it true about the goalkeeper from Turkey as a backup goalkeeper? Yeah, I had seen that, man. It looked like a 3 million bid. And I think it was actually like United Cloud or someone had said that they had heard firsthand that this might have been happening. So we might be getting not one but two goalkeepers. Scott is saying Alanga not good enough. He's had his chances. Yep, absolutely. Rajat says, will we get Kakare? We might not. We probably won't. But I think he's a brilliant player. I would love to see Kakare at Manchester United. Get Fred to AC Milan. And LDG says United clearly have at least 200 million to spend. Look, absolutely, man. Look, I've said this before, and we can call it a conspiracy theory, we can call it a guesswork or whatever. Look, this is not actually coming from any sort of source news, but I think looking into the financials, obviously fair play does come into it a bit, but I think our biggest limiting factor is the Glazer family, and I think that is why we're not spending the money we should be, and I think that's really annoying because we know that the money is there. Like when the report came out, the quarterly report, United had £260 million on a credit facility, and we haven't managed to use it. So obviously we don't want to use it all. Obviously we want to spend somewhat responsibly, but I also think the Glazers are definitely having an impact on this transfer window. Absolutely. Let me see, who else have we got down here. Dan is saying the more we sell, the more we buy. FFP is the issue, but we can get 4 decent signings in. Yeah, look, I think FFP is an issue, but I think it's also being multiplied by the Glazer family looking to keep money in the club, because then it's just going to be money coming out of their pocket when the club eventually gets sold. Gregory says, I think Mount to 7 is a big mistake. He deserves to be 19, in my opinion, but I don't think we have a player to take number 7. Thank you very much for that. We could have seen 19, but I think that would have meant Varane has to go to like number 4 or something. I don't know. Luman is saying, can you name the snake players we have at the club currently? I don't think so. I mean, I don't pretend to have sources and stuff. I know some guys on YouTube who do this sort of stuff. You know, they tell you that they've got a WhatsApp and it says that Maguire's a snake or Henderson's a snake, whatever. I think most United players are very professional in the way they go about their business. I would question Dean Henderson because that's a guy who publicly went on to Talksport and did an interview going against the club. So maybe you can jump to conclusions there, but I'm not going to sit and tell you guys I know something if I don't. Like, I'm not an ITK or anything. Yusuf is saying, I cannot wait for guitar. I'm at Fabrizio confirmed behind the scenes progress of the takeover in an exclusive with Give Me Sport. Mr. Phil, Alanga, Bailly, McTominay, Tellez, Henderson, Maguire, Sancho, Williams all should have been sold by now. I would agree. I would like to see more players sold. Absolutely. Rajat as well is saying, I know the Glazers have not put a penny into our club, and Ryan Cherky is a young player in France coming very good. Honestly, I would love to see him as well. I think he's a brilliant young player. And Abebe is saying as well, I need Amrabat to United. Look, I would love Amrabat because he comes in and he really offers a lot different than what we currently have. And I think it's nothing but a good thing for us because, let me just do that. Because he comes in, he's a very good passer of the ball, almost metronomic. He will drop in between our kind of backlines, and I think he will do very nicely in there. Let's see, Dan is saying, I bet there's shirts flying out of the club store, Mount 7. They probably are, man, and I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. Rajat is saying it was a good mount announcement. Yeah, I mean, it was all right. Like, it was seen better. I think the Bruno one's definitely the best one, in my opinion. So, let me see here, guys. Let me get talking because we want to talk about Andre Onana. So, Ben Jacobs has says United are remaining optimistic they can strike a deal with Inter Milan for Onana, and Onana wants to come to Old Trafford. So let's paint the picture. Let's have a look at where we currently stand with this deal, because it is kind of confusing. There's a lot of different reports coming out, different currencies and stuff. So Inter Milan want around 60 million euros, which would be in the ballpark of around 52 million pounds. And then they've said that they would accept a 50 million euro offer. So that's in the ballpark of around about 43 million pounds. Manchester United, our offer was 34 million plus 5 million in add-ons. So in total, we're probably 5 or 6 million away from getting this a done deal. I think we're edging closer to Andre Onana becoming our goalkeeper, and I cannot wait for it to happen. The sooner this happens, the better for Manchester United, because very simply put, when we bring Mason Mount in, he will come in for Eriksen. If we bring a striker in, he comes in for Martial. But bringing Onana in is going to change so much about how this team plays. All of a sudden, the back line is going to be so much higher up the pitch. The passing lanes will be completely changed because Onana can pick out passes from his penalty box right up the pitch. So United, it will be a complete transition, a complete adjustment. I understand why Eric Ten Hag wants this deal done, because we need as much time to get used to Onana in our system as possible. Let me see. DL is saying Martial needs to go if we're going to get an exclusive Kane or maybe Mbappe later. Yeah, absolutely. I think Martial needs to go. Completely agree with you, man. Rajat is saying Mount is getting number 7 because of marketing and shirt selling. RSV says, would have been nice if we had Caicedo as an inverted right back who can play alongside Casemiro, and he will help him in the build-up phase 1, so Mount and Bruno could play further up. Yeah, I mean, I think United need that first phase player as well. I think Mount will add a lot going forward, but there's definitely first phase players Manchester United could have went for. I think a lot of that explains why we wanted to see players like Frankie de Jong brought in before, because they are that kind of first phase player who can get deep and play the passes, and they're also proper elite level ball carriers, so they can take the ball right up the pitch. And I think Mount is a very good carrier of the ball, but he does play a little bit higher up. So my concern is going to be maybe Casemiro being a little bit isolated in a single pivot, but it can be, of course, complemented by a fullback inverting. So probably Luke Shaw. I feel like he's probably the best on the ball between our fullbacks. Let me see as well. Who else have we got? Dan says we will pay towards Martial's wages when he leaves. We probably will. We're United. It's what we do, guys, honestly. Luke is saying as well, Group Limited, who held UK finances for Hummel Elite Sports, was put into administration of last year, at which point the club's contract with Elite and Hummel ceased. I think that's Northampton. And Liman says, God forbid, in case the takeover fails and the Glazers stay, then what action do we go for? How do United fans and behave from then onwards? Honestly, guys, we just have to keep the pressure up. We have to keep on believing in this cause, and that we can get the Glazer family out of this club. It will be hard. It will be difficult, but I believe we can do it. Absolutely. Ismail is saying, what's keeping the Glazers from handing over the team to Sheikh Jassim and the Qatar? Has this really affected United in their recruitment? I hate these Glazers. Honestly, man, you're not the only one. I completely understand where you're coming from. Look, yes, we're still going on with this takeover. We're still going on with the sale. It's dragging on. It is going on right down to the wire. And of course it has really affected the transfer budget this window. It's affecting it every single day. Now, Manchester United, what I'm hoping we can do is have a good transfer window, bring in what I would call the essential players, which is going to be the striker, it's going to be the goalkeeper, and from there anything else is a bonus. And hopefully then, come January time, we can invest maybe in a second striker or another right back or a centre back, something like that. I think could be what United go for. Let me see. Luman is saying, Rashad, don't buy any merchandise, it goes to the Glazers. Ahmad is saying apparently we're linked to Thiago Almada. Yes, that's coming in from American sources as well. He's a good player. He would be a very interesting player to bring in. Now, whether or not he really fits what we have, I don't know. I feel like we have quite a lot of attacking type midfielders between Bruno and Mount and Eriksen, probably Van de Beek you have to add in there as well. So I feel like we're quite well stocked. I would like some deeper players to come in who would be better than McTominay and better than Fred, because I think that will help us. Let me see. Chris is saying, if we're still paying Martial's wages, might as well keep him as an unreliable backup or pay off his contract and tell him to take a hike. Honestly, yeah, we will be doing one of those. Completely agree with you, man. I think he's going to stay because there's probably not going to be clubs willing to take him. And I think that's the big concern that I've had with Martial and a lot of other players as well. You know, we pay clubs stupid wages. And I feel like this is genuinely why we are so difficult to sell players on. We really struggle because a lot of these players, they're on so much money that nobody else is going to pay them that much. Let's see, DL is saying, do you think Ahmad's going to get playtime, and Manu? I think that's a good question, man. I would love to see Ahmad. I would love to see Kobbie Mainoo get a lot of game time. I think preseason will be interesting. I think definitely Kobbie Mainoo will be on the preseason tour. Amad Diallo will be as well. Other young players as well. You know, Kovar will have a chance in goals. Charlie McNeil will have a chance up front because it's only going to be Tom Heaton in goals. It's only going to be Martial up front. So these young players have an opportunity to make a stab. Try and take a place in the first team. That's what they can do. Let's see if they do it. Dan is down there with the Glazers out and with the members emoji. Thank you very much for that one, man. Gregory says Glazer family just care about making money with the team. They do not care about the team or to win the league. No, absolutely, man. It's just money. It always has just been money, and it's very frustrating. RSV says, I would love it if we rehire Ranić and bring in Paul Mitchell so they can work with Ten Hag. Ranić wanted Enzo, Caicedo, Alvarez, and they were in South America. We could have bought them all for less than 50 million. Yep, absolutely, we could have. It is very frustrating, you know. We missed out Julian Alvarez. We missed out on the likes of Jude Bellingham, of course, Moses Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. So many players we could have bought, but we just didn't. I mean, it is so frustrating, guys, honestly. But I can see loads of people are joining in. So, guys, we are running a poll tonight, and I want to know what you guys think. Should Mason Mount have been given the number 7 shirt at Manchester United? So it's a yes, it's a no, or it's a I don't care. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Some people obviously care a lot. Some people, they're not too bothered. So let me know your thoughts on that one. Chris is saying Martial on 250,000 a week, as he used to be Joel Glazer's favourite player, really professional. Yep, absolutely, that is right, Chris. And as well as that, Joel Glazer said to Jose Mourinho, who wanted to get rid of Anthony Martial, Joel Glazer said, he's going to be the next Pele. We have to keep him. So, I mean, that is the frustration there. Yusuf is saying Harry Maguire news. Well, man, in terms of Harry Maguire, I can tell you one thing. So, Fabrizio Romano said this during the week. Harry Maguire is set for a private conversation with Eric Ten Hag this week when the players come back for pre-season. So, players are back tomorrow. I would expect a Maguire update probably by the end of the week. They're going to have a sit-down conversation about that. Greg Francis says Ten Hag is prioritising Onana because he knows how much time it will take him to adapt, and I think we'll eventually get Hojlund and he will adapt quicker. Yep, absolutely. Look, I think there's in terms of what Hojlund's going to bring, maybe, I think, you know, it's not going to be as big adjustment to the team. You know, we are going from having a number 9 to having a better, younger number 9, but going from De Gea, a shot stopper with a low defensive line, to Onana, a sweeper and a distributor with a high defensive line, that's going to take a lot of work. It will take time and effort for sure. Ashid is saying, where did he get that from? What one was that there for Shade? Was that for the Joel Glazer story? Because I saw it on, I think it was on Paddy's Twitter as well, so odds on FPL. Rizat is saying Russo gone to Arsenal. Yep, I believe, yeah, that's the women's team. One of United's best players last season, of course, has left. DL has says it was talked that De Gea and Maguire are going to meet Ten Hag this week. Do you think it has happened because of the Onana bid? I think it's going to happen regardless. I hope what's going to happen is we buy Onana and David De Gea gets to go on the rest of his career, because I think it is frustrating. Ashid, yes, man. So this came from Odds on FPL. He had put the story up on his own Twitter. So it was basically quote tweeting where it was an article where Joel Glazer had said Martial was going to be one of the best young players in the world. So he has been a long favourite of Joel Glazer. Look, I'm sure Anthony Martial isn't a passionate Glazer fan. You know, it's nothing to do with that. Dan is saying as well, Glazers know nothing about football. 20 years. Rain Martial was never going to be Pele. Yeah, I mean, it's just an anecdote, but it is genuinely something that shows the level of these guys. RSV says we can fully trust Ten Hag on transfers and recruitment at Ajax. He worked with Mark Overmars, Van de Sar, and Ajax recruitment team. A lot of his signings for Ajax were flops, but hilarious. Yeah, look, I think all managers have hits and misses, but I do agree with you. I think Eric Ten Hag needs that sort of support team around him. I think we've done well because a lot of the players we've brought in have been people who he has previously worked for. I think now we're getting to the stage where we need to be bringing in players from around the globe, players from South America, players from Europe. You know, we need to be global with this. We need smart signings, we need potential signings, and we need quality signings. You know, we need a lot of different things. Let's hope that we can get that support system around him for sure. Let's see. Rajat says Hoyland will be brought 2 games down. I hope not, man. I hope we get him before the start of the season. Look, I think it's completely realistic to think we could have Onana signed this week and that we could then go on and have Hoyland bought by the end of July. I think that's entirely realistic. RSV says that is why we need a proper sporting director and a reset of the backroom staff and the board want to take over occurs. Yeah, absolutely. You know, they need to get out of there. Because I think it's one of the biggest things, and I've said it before, guys. You know, we have one of the worst and most incompetent board of directors running this club, and we have had that for a very long time, and that's one of the biggest issues with this club. You know, we bring in we spend a lot of money, but so much of it has been wasted because it's been non-footballing guys making footballing decisions for a long time at Manchester United. It's people who the Glazers trust. It's people who the Glazers want to be there. So, you know, I completely agree. I think clearing the deck, bringing in a new CEO, a new director of football, a new technical director, that's going to be the most important thing. Go and get a better scouting staff as well. Dan is saying we need 2 holding midfielders for big games. Yep, we could do. Neil Driscoll is down there as well. The new away shirt wearing for this new away shirt wearing for this season. Yeah, I have seen it. It's all right. Like I don't like not there not being a badge on it. I mean, this if that's what we're talking about, it's just a normal Adidas one. It's literally from like Jetty or something. I don't even know. Let me see. Rashad is saying Amrabat is too good to expand the Morocco market. Look, I would like to see Amrabat because he's a really good player. He would come in, play a lot of passes, and be a really good distributor in midfield. It's what United need more of, and he would come in, would be a really different option. And if our midfield depth next season was Fred and Casemiro and Amrabat, Bruno, Ericsson, and Mount, you know, that is world class. That is absolutely top level. You know, we could not ask for a better midfield next season. You know, genuinely, that could be such an upgrade for Manchester United. So I think, yes, we want to see of course, the starting 11 improved. We want a better team we can trust every week to play. But bringing in guys like Amrabat is going to make the whole squad better. And that's so important as well. You know, it's not just 11 players who win league titles. It isn't just 13 or 14. We genuinely need a full squad of 20 to 25 players who are top level. That's what we need at Manchester United. Let me see as well. Rashad is saying we may as well have the Dracula logo at her shirt because the Glazers bladed. And Lucky is saying we would need more pace and strength. Yeah, I don't think we could do with enough of that. You know, definitely times last season where Manchester United looked to be a little bit weak in midfield. The likes of Ericsson were getting walked through very easily on a regular basis. So bringing someone in like Amrabat, who can add the physical nature, the strength, and the speed, as well as combining that with technical ability, will be a really big upgrade. Mr. Phil is saying problems with United. We only want marquee signings. We can't bring in our own upcoming talents. We like to start taking these so-called risks and these non-popular players with not so crazy wages. Thank you very much for that, man. Look, I do agree. I think there is definitely elements of that. United, we have gone for the big marquee names, the big Galactico signings, and they haven't worked out. We have been buying players because they're good players, not because they're going to fit the team. I mean, there are loads of players out there, I'm sure, who Pep Guardiola would be interested in, but he wouldn't bring them to City because they wouldn't fit the team. And you know, that's the most important thing. A proper team and a proper squad will beat a team of 11 good players every single day of the week. You know, if you have a system that works, that's going to be the most important thing, playing as a team and working to your system. Look, the obvious example of that, we look at Chelsea. Chelsea spent so much money on a lot of good players who didn't fit in any kind of system. And then you look at Brighton. Brighton, on the other hand, didn't spend a lot of money on any of their players. And what did they have? A much better team. And that's why they finished so high up the Premier League table. You know, that is the big difference here. Lucky Singh is saying times are changing. Yep, times are changing. Hopefully, we're going to see some movement on this sale this week. That has to be the big aim. That has to be the big ambition. Because where are we going with it? You know, we want to see this done at some stage. Let me see as well. Just going to check for some latest news for you guys because bound to be something breaking. We are Manchester United. If there isn't 20 minutes without a headline, I would be very surprised. So let me just double check this. No, actually, not too much. Not actually too much breaking about United. Hot Fuzz is down there. Good evening, chaps. Good to see you, man. Thank you very much for joining in with us. Hot Fuzz, one of our channel members, an absolute legend of a guy as well. Ashid is down there. Eric Ten Hag is slowly changing everything up Manchester United. Yeah, I do agree with that. And Rajat says Newcastle are challenging. I think so as well. You know, United, we've brought in Mason Mount, but they've brought in Tonali. That's very, very good for Newcastle United. Rosetta is saying get a director of football and we will compete. Yeah, I mean, we need quality people making quality decisions. If we give a Ralph Ranić or a Paul Mitchell or somebody of that quality some of the money we've been spending over the last 10 years or so, we would be in a much better place if we only had some footballing people making the big calls. You know, that could be the big thing. Rashad is saying Ten Hag slowly but surely. Yep, we are slowly but surely getting there. And I think next season we're going to see more of an Eric Ten Hag team. I think we're going to see a team that's going to be front foot, more possession based, a lot of pressing, and we're going to see the real principles of play, the inverting from the fullbacks that he likes, the inverting of the wingers, and as well as that, you know, the two number eights, the two attacking eights going into the attacking half spaces as well. And we're going to see a lot of interchanging. It's going to be fluid. We will, of course, have the big man up front. Hopefully that's going to be Rasmus Hojlund, and hopefully United can score a lot more goals, because that's going to be the big thing. I think in terms of our overall style of play, we want to improve, of course, but we also want more goals. Let me see. Dan is saying, if some you, I don't know, maybe I got cut off or something. Yes, guys, but in terms of this poll that we have been running, so I had asked you guys, should Man United have given Mason Mount the number 7 shirt? At the moment, 39% of you guys are going yes, 38% are going no, and 23% are saying it does not matter. Dan is saying, young ones impressing, sure, give them a chance. Yeah, I do agree with that, man. I would like to see some young players given a chance. You know, I think we got some really good young players at this club. Kobe Minu is going to be fantastic, no doubt about it. Isaac Hansen-Aaron, a very good young player. Probably Charlie McNeil could fit in. Alvaro Fernandez, another one, really, really good. So I'm excited to see some young players on this tour. So absolutely, it's going to be an exciting one for sure. Let me just do that. Okay, so also, guys, in terms of the actual overall tour, so I was thinking about doing some watch-alongs. What do you guys think about that? Probably going to do some for the pre-season. Maybe, I think the first one might be the 9th of July. So if you guys would be interested in that, let me know. Nick Knock is saying when you're wearing the shirt, you can't see the number anyway. Yeah, that's true, man. Absolutely. You know, I always say the most important, like, it's an old saying, but the name on the front of the shirt is more important than the name on the back. You know, the Manchester United, that is the most important thing. Not the number, not the name. It's the United badge. Lucky Singh is down there. Onana bid should be done. Unfortunately not, man. You know, United, we went in with the first bid. We do this all the time. We always put in what I like to call a tester bid. We like to go lower. We know it will be rejected. And then from there, you kind of work towards the price. You set the bottom, they've set the top. So now you work towards the middle. So I think this gets done. In my personal opinion, I'm going to say 40 million euros plus 5 million on add-ons probably gets this done. I think that would be a fair one. A shade is saying 12th of July, first pre-season match. Dan is saying yes. Yes, way forward, watch along. Yep, absolutely, man. Joe, if you guys want it, I'll do it. It'll be hard to do it for like 3 hours, but we'll do it. Don't worry, we will do it. Let me see as well. So the poll is still going on. Let me check the notes because there was some other players I wanted to talk about with you guys. So let's have a check here. So this is coming in from who have we got? Yep, so there we are. So we're coming in from Fabrizio Romano talking about Andre Onana. So Manchester United and Inter Milan have scheduled new contacts for Andre Onana. Inter expects United to bid again. Negotiations will continue throughout this week. So we're going to go back in. We haven't been dissuaded by one bid rejected. So I think that's good. It feels like this is a Mason Mount situation over again where we're going to have some bids rejected, but eventually we're going to get there. The player wants to come. the opposition club needs to sell, United want to buy. All things point towards this being a done deal within the next couple of days, hopefully as well. Let me see who's down there. Rajat says, go make a video with United Community Channel. He is from Ireland as well, mate. I actually haven't seen this United Community Channel, so I will have a check out for that, man. Honestly, guys, like, between actually making my own stuff and what little YouTube and stuff I actually do get to watch, I really don't watch too much. Not anymore, anyway. You guys are keeping me busy. Lucky is saying, Ahmad, Diallo, Amrabat, Garnacho, Anthony, and Rashford. Joe, yeah, I mean, that would be a nice attacking quintet to have next season. Nick Knack is saying Onana keen on the move, to quote champion manager 1993-94. That is a cultured comment there for sure, guys. Absolutely. Look, I mean, he is keen on the move. He has given the green light according to Romano, so I think this is going to happen. I think what we have here is a goalkeeper who wants to sign. We need to sign a goalkeeper. Inter need to sell. Everything is lining up perfectly for this to be a done deal pretty soon, I think, as well, because Inter Milan would like the player sold by the 20th of July. They've kind of given a soft deadline of that day, so I would expect this to pick up pace towards the end of the week. Probably United talking right now with Inter, trying to come up with another bid. That's going to be the next thing that we go for, and then from there we will see what happens, of course, as well. So Dan is saying wants to work with the magician Ten Hag again. Yeah, there we go. There's the emojis going in from Dan as well. So thank you, Dan, man. Absolute legend, channel member. Really appreciate all you guys very, very much as well. So, honestly, guys, I'm actually kind of blown away by how little takeover news we have. I feel like you guys probably are as well. I was expecting to see a lot of takeover news. You know, I thought we were going to be sitting here certainly a week ago that it could be almost like Sheikh Jassim had the club bought, that the Qataris were coming in, but so far we haven't really had the progress that we've been looking for. So look, I know we saw this coming in from Jimmy Jackson. Look, if it was another source saying it, a more reliable source, I probably would have believed it, but I don't know. I feel like the frustration is growing. I can feel it myself. I mean, I want this club sold. I'm sure you guys do as well. Rajat is saying 10 Messi, and Lucky Singh is saying Sheikh Jassin in, and he will buy Avram and Joel stock. Yeah, but that has to be part of the plan, man. Absolutely. Hot Fuzz is down there. Rajat is saying as well, and Andre Onana is close to join 2077. Honestly, guys, we will be sitting here in 2077. It will be Sheikh Jassim's grandson bidding for Manchester United. The Radcliffe will still somehow be the favourite according to the Times. The Glazers will still not have responded to anything, and United, Old Trafford will literally be just a grass pitch. So that'll be it. Let me see who we got down here. Sinkin is saying, evening all, good to see you, man. Thank you for joining in. Ashid is saying them two delaying the sale. Absolutely, man. Some eat shit as well, saying today. Here we go. Onana, I don't think we're going to get it today, man. Look, we put the bid in, so I think that's good. The interest is there. We're willing to pay the money. Let's see what happens. I think it will happen eventually. Just not yet. I feel like it is Manchester United. We like to drag things out. Who else have we got down there? Juju is saying Neymar. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to bring Neymar in, man. DL is saying Roma want McTominay. I hope Jose can save us and take Maguire in the same pack. Honestly, I said this before, if any of the Saudi Arabian teams would like some Manchester United deadwood, we could definitely be selling there. Harry Maguire, 100 million to Saudi Arabia. Fred, 200 million. Maybe we'll sell Anthony Alanga, top young prospect, half a billion, yeah, 500 mil. I think that could be fair. Maybe we can flog those guys off to them. Luman is saying takeover will happen anytime now. And by the way, this channel is getting 1 million subscribers. Thank you, man. Do you know what? Maybe we're going to get 1 million subs on here before the takeover happens. Let's see if we can do it. That's a challenge, guys. But honestly, guys, thank you so much for the support. And honestly, comments like that is just absolutely why I do this. So thank you very much for that, Luman. Sinkin is saying, don't Inter Milan owe us some money from the Lukaku sale? I feel like they might have done it at some stage. I don't know if it's happened yet. I do remember it was like 47 million they hadn't paid up. So maybe it happened. Maybe it's already been paid. I feel like it would have been paid out of the money they got for Lukaku, that 100 million from Chelsea. So I don't know. Lucky Singh is saying it's crazy. Yep, absolutely, man. This is crazy times at Manchester United. Honestly, I feel like we are more of a circus than a football club sometimes. We know how United operate on and off the pitch. Let's hope that we can actually start to get back to some sort of normality, be a serious club again. Let me see, what else have we got here? We have Alejandro Garnacho is now a Balenciaga model, so there's something there. Garnacho has started a modelling career by the time it took the Glazers to sell the club, and we're still not here. So great signs as always. Hot Fuzz is saying you could ask Sheikh Sim for a channel sponsor, could pay me in golden Ferraris. Honestly, if he wants to, absolutely. Genuinely, I feel like if Sheikh Sim came on here, it would break the internet and it would be genuinely hilarious. Like, he would probably just be ranting. I would be sitting back watching this with a smile on my face. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if Sheikh Sim wants to come on, more than welcome. Absolutely. Let me see. McTominay go to Roma for 33 million. Neil is down there sinking. Inter Milan owe United 47 million. Dan is saying, do you think in Qatar they will make a statement signing in January? Joe, I think they might do. I've been saying this for a while. Fully expect now, if this takeover happens tomorrow, if it happens right now, it's too late to affect the summer transfer window. We have dragged this on for too long. So that is annoying. There's nothing we can do about it. What we can do, January transfer window, go and bring somebody in. So I've been saying this most of the stream. I think if we bring in the essential positions, so goalkeeper and a striker, then in January, if we go, let's get another midfielder and a centre back, I feel like that's going to be a very good way to success, because that way they get to invest the money straight away. That way, Manchester United get what we need now, and then we can improve the overall squad by January. So Dan is saying Newcastle signed Bruno Guimaraes. Yep, absolutely. They brought him in January. So maybe we can do something similar, bring in some big players. I would love to see it, honestly. And I think it can be done. Liman is saying, would you sell your dear channel to the Glazers if they come in with a mouth-watering offer? Absolutely not, man. No Glazer money. I would not take their money. So no, absolutely not, absolutely not. Let me see as well. Rajada saying Mbappe is going to be the next Galactico. Honestly, look, I've said this before. I feel like this is something that might happen, and there's a very small chance, a tiny, tiny, tiny chance. But when we think about it, Qatar want to keep Mbappe under their sporting logo. Sheikh Jassim, of course, has links to the Qataris. Then I think it makes logical sense. They can move Mbappe out of Paris, keep him happy, keep him underneath their whole banner, their umbrella. So I think that's going to make a lot of sense. Dan is saying Kane only has 6 months left in January if he stays. Yes, but he has been offered a new contract by Tottenham Hotspur. Let's see if he accepts that, because if he accepts that, he has basically just signed off the rest of his career to never win a trophy, to never be a serious footballer. And all he's doing and all he's caring about is goal scoring records, because he will never win anything at Tottenham Hotspur. Ashid is saying we do not need Galactico signings. We're building something at United. Absolutely. That's going to be a big concern of mine. I want whoever the owner is to come in and believe in the project, believe in Eric Ten Hag. If he does not want to bring in some flashy players, so be it. We will make our own flashy players, because a lot of the guys who Jurgen Klopp brought in at Liverpool, for instance, they weren't big names, but for sure, they have become big names because the team has been so successful. So Hot Fuzz is saying we can't sell the channel to the Glazers. The channel would get loaded with so much debt. Newcastle YouTube would sue for every penny. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely wouldn't be. Gregory is saying Qatar won't take over because the Glazer family does not want to sell the team. I think, yeah, they're definitely split on it now. Some of them want to sell, some don't want to sell. I think what's going to happen eventually is they're going to have to sell. It will happen eventually, just a question of when. Clinton is saying, let's go get Colin Moani if the Hojlund deal is a kind of saga. Yeah, I mean, that could be an option, because it looks like Atalanta are trying to mug us off. It looks like they're asking for far too much money for Manchester United to pay. So if that keeps happening, if they do not drop the price, then I think we might go for Colomwani. So I think that's a good one. Rajat is saying YouTube will take Steph to the very long and bad court process. And Dan is saying glad we dodged Nunes, Andy Carroll, Mark 2. Thank you very much for that. So we actually have a comment coming in here from the Inter Milan director on Andre Onana. So this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. So he has said, as of today, the proposals are not at the level we expect. In the moment, he's our goalkeeper and he's a key player for us. We would like to keep him and we'll see what happens. We will wait for July 13 for pre-season. I think we're going to have him bought by then. I think he will be sold by then. That's what I think. I think we definitely will be getting this guy in very, very soon. So let me just do that just so I can have this in. So this is coming from Fabrizio Romano, guys. That is the latest quote from Inter Milan. So look, I think obviously that's just the kind of update we expect to see. They're always going to say, you know, he's our player until he's not. The level wasn't good enough. X, Y, and Z. This is always going to happen. Make no mistake about it. But I think that the sooner we get this done, the better. I think what we want to do is have him sold and have him bought. Hopefully by the end of the week. I think we can get there. I would expect another bid to go in probably Friday, so hopefully we can get moving. Robert is saying talk should end today for Mount deal and on to Onana deal. Yep, that is what's happened. United, we have the deal for Mason Mount done. It's time to focus on the goalkeeping situation, and then we're going to look at sales. Then we're going to look at a striker coming in. That's seemingly going to be the transfer window. I would like to see more. I've wanted to see 3 or 4 players. Unfortunately, we haven't quite got there, but I would love to see United bring in some more players. So any more thoughts, guys, make sure to get them in down below. Keep voting on the poll. 140 votes so far, and 41% of you guys are saying yes, Mason Mount should have been given the Man United number 7 shirt. Of course, 39% are saying no, and 21% of you guys are thinking like me that it doesn't really matter. A number is a number. It's more important what they do with the United shirt on their back. So Dan is saying we need Hojlund too, but we can only do one deal at a time. Honestly, man, we cannot multitask. We are very, very poor negotiations. It's very frustrating. Robert as well is saying talk should end today for Mount deal, and Onana deal should not take the 2 weeks. No, absolutely not, man. We should be doing this Onana deal by the end of the week. We know the price. We have offered close to the price. We just need to get the rest of the money there. That's what we have to do. We know what we need to offer. We know how much Inter wants, and we know the player wants to come. And on top of that, Erik Ten Hag is desperate to have the player. So this is one United have to get done. They need to get this done as soon as possible. And I'm praying that they do, because we need a goalkeeper. At the moment, the only goalkeeper we have, it's Tom Heaton. It's genuinely Tom Heaton, because De Gea is no longer at Manchester United. Dean Henderson is on his way out of Manchester United. So we need to bring in that goalkeeping signing, and it needs to be Onana, in my opinion. So any more thoughts, guys, make sure to get them in down below as well. And yeah, let me just double check here. And as well as that, guys, thank you very much for all the support across this channel. Absolutely incredible, as always, from you guys. So if you are new and you do want to support the channel, please consider hitting that sub button. Really helps us out. So Robert is saying, when is Maguire leaving? I think Maguire is going to leave. I think he should leave. He will not be getting game time at Manchester United next season. I mean, we've got Varane ahead of him. We've got Martinez, Lindelof are all ahead of him. You would maybe say Maguire is 4th choice centre-back, but then Erik Ten Hag has played Luke Shaw at centre-back instead of Harry Maguire. So really there is no future for Maguire at Manchester United. I feel like he needs to be ambitious. He needs to have that drive to want a better career for himself, and hopefully he leaves. Hopefully he will leave Manchester United, because he will bring in the money we need, that we can go and buy another player. We can sell Maguire for £20 million, maybe more. Let's hope we can do it. Let's hope United are capable of getting that deal done, and that's what we need to see from Manchester United. That's what we want to see from Manchester United. Any more thoughts, guys? Get them in down below. Let me check the notes as well. I think there was something else we wanted to go through here. Let me see. Yep, so we actually have an interesting update. This is coming in from Mason Mount, and Mount is of the opinion that Manchester United are in a better position to challenge for the major honours than Chelsea, and he has been blown away by Erik Ten Hag, the level of detail, the plans that Erik Ten Hag has presented to him. I think that's very good because Mason Mount was wanted by a lot of clubs. Chelsea wanted to keep him, of course. Arsenal wanted to sign him. Liverpool wanted to sign him. But he wanted to come to Manchester United. He has bought into Erik Ten Hag's project. He has bought into the belief. I think he's going to be a very good signing for us. Stephanie is saying, sell Maguire as set an example to the rest of the squad. Yeah, I would just say sell Maguire as well, honestly. Like, get rid of the guy. Robert is saying that's good news for Maguire leaving. I can sleep now. Honestly, I feel like a lot of United fans will sleep better if Maguire leaves. Good to see you as well, Stephanie. Thank you for joining in with us live. Really appreciate it. All the support from you guys. You guys are genuinely incredible as well. So big shout out to all you guys. Big shout out to the channel members who've got Big T, Dan, Daniel, Hot Fuzz. Thank you very much for all that support. Really do appreciate it, guys. I'm going to leave the stream here just because my voice is slowly going. So thanks very much for watching, guys. And I will see everybody tomorrow. Same time tomorrow, 7:45. All the best, guys. Have a very good Thursday, whatever you guys are doing. And I will see you guys then.